Hey, so the focus of this project is going to be creating a game that will switch art styles on a button press. So we can toggle between different art styles and the game will update and change visually what it looks like every time we press a button. Now, in order to do that, we're going to need some art. So I've got some examples here to show you, and then we'll put it into Unreal and we'll get the basic system set up for it to work. So art comes in lots of different art styles, as you'd have seen, as you're very well aware of. Art can look like anything. Game art could be really nice, vector art could be pixely art, could be surrealism, could be abstract, could be anything. So anyway, I've got some different clouds. So here you can see we've got one type of cloud here, got a different cloud, a different cloud, and a different cloud. Again, all sort of very different in different style. This one's quite cartoony. This one's sort of a little bit more, I guess, realistic, quite blurry, almost watercolory. This one's very stylized, quite sort of like Eastern, a little bit Greek potentially. And then we've got the same thing. I've done boats as well. So I've got boats in different art styles. Now, the thing with these assets, where you're making them, is loosely sort of, you should aim to try and get them all loosely around sort of the same size. Now, it doesn't really matter too much, but just it'll sort of make things look visually a bit more coherent if the same size. And obviously, you'll be deciding on your three sort of art styles that you want to go for and try and be consistent. If you're going for like one sort of manga style, or if you're going for like a classic 1950s comic book style, like all the dots, then try and sort of be consistent throughout that style. But anyway, so you want to create your images and then you're going to want to download them as PNGs. Once you've got them downloaded, I've just created a folder in our 2D game called Sprites and I've imported them. So that's all I've done. In fact, I'll delete them just to even show you that process, because importing is easy. Just highlight the ones you want and drag them in. Once they're in, we're going to need to create them into sprites because it's a 2D game. So we're going to right click them and say create sprites. There you go. We've got sprites now. Real quick while we're here, you can edit collision boxes of sprites. So, I mean, that'd be sort of alright, but you could tweak it if you want to. Like, let's say we actually want a decollision only to really be around sort of here. So you can actually move some of your collision points about, should you wish to. And I think you can add more by pressing Shift. Yes, Shift clicking on it, and you can create yourself more collision points should you need to. So if you wanted to update your collision, you can do it that way as well. And we could even drag this into a scene, stick it over there. With this, always try and make sure you're on the right sort of loosely the right depth. I mean, if you look at your character on the green, it's -13, but really I think we just sort of like set everything to 0 on the green. Oops, no way, it crashed. Well, let's then restart that. Awkward. I didn't see anything. There's two snowmen sat in a field. One snowman turned to the other and said, "Do you smell carrots?" And there we go. Let's just re-input them. Don't know why that's gone. Well, let's try it again. Import them, right-click them, create sprites. Cool. Once we've got that, we're going to create a blueprint class out of them. Type actor, and I'm just going to call it boat _BP. Now with our boat, I'm just going to drag in my sprite one, and there it is. We can see it, looks like a boat, boat, pixels. I'm going to go across to the event graph, and I'm going to create a custom event. So right click and create a custom event. I'm going to call it update 1.
Someone is it.
And we're going to create another one for custom event, update 2, and we'll do an update 3 as well. So custom event, right click, custom event, update 3. Now, what these are essentially going to do is it's just going to toggle between the sprites. So I'm going to grab my reference for my sprite, and I'm going to say set sprite. And I'm just going to duplicate that, Control D and Control D. Okay. Control C, Control V. And wire this into my target point. Wire up, wire up, wire up, wire up, wire up, wire up, and then obviously just set the relevant boats to be the correct boats. Boat 1, boat 3, boat 4. I didn't like boat 2. I got rid of it, in case you're wondering. Cool. That's your basic system setup for that, but we're also going to need to control on the player. So I'm just going to click my player, and I'm going to press Edit Player. And in here, we are going to create, just go to some space, and we're going to create a custom event. So right click and oh no, sorry, not a custom event. We'll do an input keyboard 1, and we'll do the same thing for a keyboard 2 and a keyboard 3. Why are they going up when they should be going down is a good question. Cool. So inside here we are going to once we've pressed it, we're going to get all actors of class, and we're going to select our boat, and in the boat we're going to do a dragging off this funky looking one. We're going to do a for each loop. This is going to get, because it's a list, an array, because if we've got lots and lots of boats in our level, out of it we are going to do, what do we call it, switch 1? Update 1. Cool, there we go. That's the gist. And again, Control C, Control V, Control V. Wire up to you, wire up to you. Update 2. And almost done. Update 3. Cool. Okay, let's test it out. Let's throw our thing in our level. Yoink. Stick you over there. We've got a boat over here. Let's press play. And on our keyboard, press 1, 2, 3. Yay! The sort of base is at the wrong point. I might need to tweak that. So you remember sort of why I was saying try and make sure your sprites are in the right area. So in that situation, I think it'd probably be easier just to go back to this one. Get my pixel art boat, which is there. So because I've got like guides on, I've got my ruler up here. I can actually just drag a ruler down. So say this is loosely where I want my bottom to be. So I'll just go through each one of those and position him. Yeah. Probably a bit tall as well, actually. Drag that down a touch. So, you know, at which point I could just re-export this and press File, export to PNG, Mode 5, hit Save, and back in Unreal, I'm going to find my boat sprite. I'm going to right click and say Re-import with a new file, which is boat 5. Will that update this one? I'm not sure. Let's find out if it automatically updates. Cool, I think it did. Yeah, so you can see those two are basically on the same sort of level now, which is good. So again, then go ahead, stick that down here. Maybe move it a little bit back. Obviously, if we had a water sprite effect, it would look quite good. There we go. So imagine that this is water on the floor. You know, we'll be able to sort of switch between pressing buttons. Obviously the collision is saved, but we might have to go back and tweak the collision. And we can do the same thing for all of our assets. So let's do like our clouds now. Probably should have created several folders because this folder is going to get big in a minute. But let's bring in our clouds. And again, just like we did before, right click, sprite actions, create sprites. Next right click, create a blueprint class. In fact, let's press File, Save All, and duplicate our boat, and call it cloud_BP. And oh, this is cheeky. So cloud 1 will be there, cloud 2, and cloud 3. Look at that. Let's change our default sprite as well to cloud 0. Look at that. And that is good. Let's go back to our player. We'll basically need to do a this process as well again. So we're going to need to get all actors of class, which will be cloud, if I could spell cloud properly, dash, why didn't I supposed to do an underscore, for each, and then again Control C, Control V, and Control V again. Almost done. Again, we want update 1, update 2, and update 3. Okay, and let's stick some in a level. So we can also test this with multiple sprites. Let's get a couple of clouds in here as well. Stick you over there, you over there. And then we got stuff, and then we press 1, 2, 3. So the world is going to change around us, which is awesome. It's going to be really good. What happens if we change the collision? Oh, we might have to be careful about that. We'll fix that later, because obviously we got stuck inside next to the collision. We'll have to make sure. Yeah, we'll fix that at another point. But for now, because this video's gone on long enough, we've got a system where we're swapping our sprites on a button press. And it'll be really cool if, it's almost like we've got a past mode or a future mode, and you can use this like problem solving, puzzle solving, like there's a gate that you can only do in a certain mode. Something cool like that. I'm sure you can be creative with this system, but there you go. And that's it for this one. Next time, we'll go over some more 2D game controls and systems that we can set up to make our game better.